So my name is Pat Gauthier. I'm a harvest prep forester here at MTE. I work directly in the silviculture department. Between silviculture and harvest prep, we work with professionals here at MTE, Menominee state and federal levels to ensure that we're using the best available resources for our forest management. We use the information we receive from forest inventory as well as the harvest schedule to create forest management prescriptions. Forest management prescription is basically a detailed set of instructions that lay out planned treatment on a stand to meet a certain set of objectives. All MTE objectives are laid out in our forest management plan. So this is a sustainable plan that factors in culture, the environment, and economics. So all departments here at MTE have an opportunity to review and put their inputs in each prescription. This is done through our prescription meeting process. Everybody gets together, has an opportunity to look it over and kind of state their opinions on a certain stand. After this prescription meeting process, it also gets reviewed and approved by our MTE Board of Directors, Menominee Historic Preservation, Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin Environmental Services and Fish and Wildlife, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the Tribal Legislature. So Harvest Prep's job after the approval process is to follow the guidelines of the management prescription to delineate the harvest units, ensure the timber is marked to prescription, and estimate the volume of timber to be removed for contract or bid packets. Once this is done, the timber is marked. So all marking is done sustainably through our order of removal process. Size and spacing is at the end of that. So the order goes high risk of mortality, which is basically a tree that is going to be lost before the next entry. A cull tree, which is poor quality and less than 50% sound saw timber volume. Low vigor means tree of poor health. High risk of saw log degrade, and then size and spacing. When the crew's out there marking, they're always looking at, like I said, high risk first. High risk of mortality is what we call that. So basically, is that tree going to be there the next entry? Is it gonna tip over? Is it gonna die? Or is there an insect that's going to come through and kill it? And that's always changing. So we're always utilizing the best knowledge we have to kind of predict the future. That's kind of what we're trying to do. But so right now, a good indicator is like your emerald ash borer and beech bark disease. So these trees, if you look at the counties around us, or patterns that you see not quite here yet, is that tree going to make it the next time we're in there? Right now, we're kind of just we kind of know that the emerald ash borer is kind of knocking at the door. It's going to be here. It's just a matter of when. So that kind of creates that as a ash tree, which might look healthy standing in the woods. It's not going to be here in the next 15 years. So now that tree is high risk. So high risk is always at the top of that order removal, and that's kind of the main. That's what makes it sustainable. So they're always looking for a tree that's leaning. Is there a big ripped limb out off of it? Is there a seam? Anything that's going to create that tree is high risk. Just because a tree is high risk, there is other values that are considered, which cultural and environmental objectives are also in our management plan. So we're not going to go and just because a tree might be high risk in that case, like an ash tree, you're not going to mark every single one. You're going to leave your best quality. Maybe it could be one per acre. It's on site, just so there might be a future for that stand. And we're also doing side projects and studies that we work with other other agencies to kind of see what can we do with this resource that we have here to preserve it and promote it in a certain objective. So it's something we're considering it. It's just not this is high risk, or this might have a disease or might have it. As long as it's not a risk to our standing species that are still left, we're going to look for something to preserve it. But there's also it's a balancing. That's the idea of sustainability. You have to balance everything. So we know we're going to lose some, so we need to capture that value while we can, but also preserve and promote it for the future as well. So then it goes into kind of, is that tree sound? Is the volume in the tree good? Anything that's 50% or less, that kind of makes that more of a higher risk tree. Then you look at saw log degrade. Is a grade 1 going to turn into a grade 2? It's probably not going to go that far, but more of like, is that grade 2 going to be a grade 3, or is that grade 3 going to then go into a pulp? And then size and spacing, which the idea behind it is hopefully after a couple entries, you're gonna take out a lot of them higher risk, lower grade trees, and the next time you're in there, you're gonna have a little bit of a harder decision. You're gonna have better quality on site, and that's kind of what makes it sustainable. Like our biggest thing, it's kind of your model of sustainability. There's a lot of factors in that: culture, economics, the environment. I don't know the exact models, but it's a balancing wheel, and that's kind of our job here at MTE, and our job in the prescriptions is to kind of create that balance and consider everything involved, and that's the job and goal of all the people that review and approve the prescriptions as well. So each department is kind of a circular, and everybody has their important part of the whole process.